This tutorial will cover how to fill out an outline. For this particular tutorial, we are going to pull our electronic outline from the Class Resources tab on the Helena High Library page. The outline that we intend on using in this tutorial is a concession outline. However, most of the information contained in this tutorial would relate to any outline choice that you might have. Once you download this concession outline, you will see a blank document like this. Many people look at this and they think that they need to fill out the outline from beginning to end. Our suggestion would be that you don't approach an outline in this way, and you start with the things that you know first. So let's show us how to do that. The first thing to consider is filling in your thesis statement. Hopefully at this point you have a rough draft of your thesis statement established. You can put that in your thesis statement slot in your outline, and that way you will have a constant reminder what your paper is about and how you intend on covering that paper or that thesis statement. From here, I would suggest that you go further down the outline to your claim paragraph. On your claim paragraph, you have several different components. You have the topic sentence, the evidence that you will use specifically from your sources to support that topic sentence. Then you will analyze that evidence and consider linking it back to the thesis or linking to the next paragraph. So the next thing that we suggest you do is take a look at the specific evidence that you would like to cover in this paragraph. Pull that evidence, make sure that you have your citations, your in-text citations included, and collect that evidence here. The next step would be to take a look at that evidence and figure out what it is that you're going to cover in that paragraph. So write your topic sentence. Your topic sentence should be something that you come up with. It should be original. It is not something that you should need to cite. And it is kind of an overview of what is going to happen in that paragraph, what you're going to talk about. Once you have a topic sentence and your evidence, move on to writing your analysis. Your analysis is probably going to be one of the more difficult pieces especially of your body paragraphs. You should analyze the specific evidence that you have included in this paragraph. Give some critical analysis. Talk a little bit about what that evidence means in terms of your thesis statement, why it's important, how it helps you prove your point. Be very cautious in your analysis, however, that you are using a formal tone. This is not a place where you would use first person, such as I, we, or second person, such as you. So make sure that you're still staying in a formal tone, but however, this should be, again, an original section of your paper, so not necessarily something that you would need to cite. It would be your own ideas and thoughts on the topic. From there, once you have a chance to do all of your body paragraphs, and I started with my claim number 1. In this case, we probably have multiple claims. For a concession paragraph, you're also going to have a concession, or for a concession paper, you'll have a concession paragraph, in which you will concede to the other side and acknowledge their point of view as being legitimate. From there, once you have each of your paragraphs filled out, take a look at your conclusion. You will restate your position. Try to make sure that you are not sounding repetitive. Try to not use the exact same phrase or sentence or sentences. And then you will also reiterate a solution and call your readers to some sort of action. Give them something to think about doing. Once you complete your conclusion, go back up to your introduction. Now you have a outline that is nearly filled out, so you should be able to fill in the general information. The general information is the background that your reader would need to understand the topic. Remember that although you may be an expert in your topic now after doing all of this research, your readers may not be. So you need to provide enough information that they can understand what you're talking about and can understand the details in your body paragraphs. So that's what you will put in your general information. Oftentimes this particular section of information is cited because it comes from a particular source. So don't forget to do that citation. And then lastly, do your hook. The hook I like to do at the end because at this point you know what you're going to talk about and you know which pieces of evidence you've already used. Oftentimes a hook could be sort of a shocking or interesting or unique piece of information that you have found from a source. There are lots of different ways you can write a hook, but at this point you know all of the things that you've covered in other places, and so it's easier to pick and choose what you want your hook to be. Once you have filled out all of the pieces of your outline, it should be a simple step then to move on to your rough draft. You will take each of these Roman numerals and that will be a paragraph. Your next goal will be to read your paper very carefully, do some editing as far as your sentence structure and the flow of your paragraphs, and then make sure you make your revisions as you're preparing your rough draft and then moving on to your final draft. At this point, you have completed your outline and you're ready to move on. Good luck.